This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 202 of Super GG Radio, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. I'm your host and corporate commander, Eric Getty Gettinger, fresh off our annual retreat and ready to promote synergy, Alex Arona,
Man, I like this chaotic energy coming from you, Getty. Also, how are rope courses supposed to make me a better employee? Those people did not supervise me well.
Those people.
They did not supervise me well.
There's
way too many feet up in the air for me to not be double clicking.
It's about teamwork and continually trying to push your teammates to see if they can. No, I didn't write this. Somebody messed this up.
This took a whole new meaning of trust fall. Let me tell you, and I didn't love it.
Speaking of trust falls, let's drop it over to Joel DeWitt, who's our trust fall expert.
I've been carrying water here for the last good 2 years now, and I think I've had my fill.
What kind of water? Like you got to pee?
Vitamin water. But it has to be like that strawberry kiwi kind, not the grape.
How about Dasani?
Man, you're giving 50 Cent a whole bunch of money.
Dasani.
Dasani? I'll take the Dasani.
Is that 50 Cent as well, or is that...
No, it's the gross Coke water.
Yeah. Because 50 Cent got that vitamin.
All right, guys, let's remember that we're all here together trying to make a quality product. And speaking of quality, let's congratulate Alec Parks on his promotion to Quality Control Manager.
I want to thank everyone who believed in me. Mostly Getty, but I guess Joel too.
I didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Fantastic. Now let's all realign. It's time to focus on the third quarter predictions. Nothing. No reaction. One cringe is what I saw. Okay.
Nope.
I think a lot of people are going to be saying that Resident Evil 4 is going to be the game of the year.
That's fine.
Really? Okay.
It is. It's whatever.
All right, well, let's build some machines and early adopters, get some LOTR coverage in the news, then spin move into the backlog. Y'all ready for early adopters? Because early adopters is where we play alphas, betas, and games about finally becoming a vigilante. That's right, folks. Your boy was on the streets as a chicken, punching ninjas in the face. You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah.
Mutant Karate Canary. I guess it's a canary. Maybe it wasn't a chicken, but holy cow. This has
I could tell you something right
everything.
now. I was not good at this game, so I was the one getting punched in the face quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a learning curve. You really can't be too overzealous about it. But Mutant Karate Canary, this has a little bit of everything. It has fighting. It has driving around. It has, dare I say, an arcade game in your house.
I've always wanted an arcade cabinet.
Yep.
We should build you one.
Don't do it. He doesn't have the space right now.
I want one. I don't know if I could ever have one. But yeah, maybe when I get a house.
Maybe he'll spill a whole bunch of soda on it.
So then it'll get the real experience.
Oh, yeah.
The real
Sticky keys.
Sticky sticks. My PlayStation 5 controller, like, not to go off on a tangent
too late.
here, my PlayStation 5 magically all of a sudden got real sticky. Like, I don't know what happened.
I can imagine.
And I can imagine, yes, but there's no evidence. Like, one morning I just picked up my PS5 controller and I'm like, what the heck happened here?
It was probably one of those late nights. You know,
I don't know. I just know it's kind of
like those late nights that you were out fighting crime as a mutant canary. Come on, guys.
There you go. That was a good way to.
Let's focus on the Canary action here. So there's a couple of different shifts in the gameplay for Mutant Karate Canary. Some of it's first person, some of it's top down driving your car, and then even more of it is your old school 2D fighter. I need impressions, feelings, and overall just general like of this game. You can't dislike it. Go.
I actually kind of enjoyed the top-down, like, first GTA kind of perspective.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't have that kind of lively world, but it evokes that and made you just do like a time skip back to that. So I enjoyed that. Everything has this sort of like fuzzy look to it too, almost like a static while you're playing it, which is another nice touch. And the combat, it's funny. It is unwieldy. Mm-hmm. So like if you jump, you're flying all over the place, but it's also very disjointed. Like movements are very stiff when you're trying to swing and attack. You make your move and you are stuck in that spot for a good second and leave yourself open.
You commit to the animations.
Yeah, but it feels, you get used to it and you can get pretty proficient at it. Like it's still a little unwieldy, and you kind of are doing this quick like tap between the attacks and your super moves. That feels very tight windowed, but yeah, it's pretty good. The one weird thing I found is you hold back to defend, you don't stop moving.
Yeah.
So you will backpedal as you are hitting the back and defend.
Okay.
And so
Blocking?
Yeah, it forces you to think about timing a little bit. It makes it a lot more of a offensive focused fighter.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but there was definitely a lot of me screaming Hadouken at the screen.
Oh, yeah.
One of the moves is a fireball that you shoot.
It's got your basic attack on one button, and then you have two other attacks, like two specials. One's a projectile, and one's a melee special move. They all have meters on them. So the more, like when you're fighting, you will your characters will drop little containers of either blue or yellow goo, and it's radioactive goo. And those goos will power up those special abilities. So like blue will be for your melee attack, your yellow will be for your projectile. The more goo you collect by hitting your opponent or your opponent hitting you, the more powerful those abilities are. And there is a meter for your super, which is like a super attack. Which the main character who you're playing as, a car just comes and hits the enemy. Which is like
It's
wild.
the van you're driving.
Yeah, it's your paneled van.
Oh, okay. So your van will all of it just come flying by and just hit somebody in a very meticulous hit and run.
I mean, what better way to proclaim you're a vigilante than by having your car attack people? Batman did it all the time.
Yeah. He definitely hit a lot of
all
people
the
with his
time.
car.
Man, those Arkham.
I played Arkham.
Yeah.
I played Arkham Knight. Yeah.
Those games were
I hit
crazy.
a lot of people with those cars.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but with the moveset being able to shoot at a far range, that was really essential to how I was able to progress through the combat. You can try and hazard your way through the hand-to-hand, and in some ways, you're probably successful. In other ways, probably not. As Joel said, it can be pretty unmanageable at time. If you commit to jumping, then your character, and even the way that the computer played, would end up just like mashing buttons in the air. So you really have to wait for everything to come to an end before you try something else.
Yeah, and then there was like a dash, and there's also a whole meta, like an outside layer where you're getting cards that will
Boost
come
you.
into play automatically.
Yeah. So
in
you set your
combat.
cards before combat, and then it'll do something like extra HP, or you'll have a boost to one of your movesets, something along those lines. Kind of neat. You do have a mission as you set out. There's 3 bosses that are in the overworld, but you have to do different things around the map in order to unlock them. One of them, some guy was like, hey, this guy stole my dog. So I was like, oh, okay. So you talk to him, and you fight one of the henchmen, and then it's like, all right, come back to him. And he's like, oh, now the big bad guy is around. I got rolled the first time because I was still trying to learn the controls. But, after you get that first loss out of the way, you start to gain some experience points, which go towards the overall progress of the character and some unlocks.
And this is, I'm pretty sure, a roguelike?
In some ways.
So
yeah.
So you get a run, and when you die, you kind of start over, right? Is that correct? Even including all your cards, your ability cards, which sometimes you can actually pay money to have them be progress to the next run.
So yeah, that's the bare bones of it. I mean, you do have the ability to unlock more cards as you progress. So the ones that you're getting right off the bat, there's not too much diversity to them. But then as you get further in, you're unlocking more and more. Makes it a little bit easier. Just a little bit. It's incremental.
Now, I didn't find any good way to heal other than using the cards that boosted your HP, was there?
No.
Not that I saw. No.
Okay.
Don't feel bad.
And I assume that when you die, you start, like the whole run starts over.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Eddie?
It does.
Yeah, it's a very hard game because you don't regenerate health between fights.
It's typical to the genre.
Yeah.
Of rogue games.
Yeah, I was gonna say not typical of fighter.
Yeah.
Hey, that's part of what makes it a little unique. I haven't seen the kind of spin yet, so I'm really curious to see what the end product looks like.
I feel like there were some fighters where I wasn't getting more HP in between fights, but it was like a gauntlet run. I'll have to think about that. I
think the Soul Calibur series did gauntlet runs.
I think that's probably it. You didn't regain any. Well, you would regain a little bit in between battles, but not really enough to make a huge difference. So if you took too much damage, you were going back and doing it again.
Street Fighter Alpha 3 had something similar where it was a world tour mode, and you would have a location, and it would take you through like 3 different series of enemies, and it would give you like a small health regen at the end of each round. Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that. That wasn't very good.
Moral of this story: if you want to play Mutant Karate Canary, you gotta get good. But if you just want to play games like Alex, then he's ready and willing to talk about them, like Gazzlers.
Gazzlers.
All right, go ahead with Gazzlers.
Gazzlers is a VR game that is again.
Is it virtual? Is it reality?
Pre-release demo. And the way it works is that you're on it's cartoony Mad Max with these like weird characters that are kind of, they're not rabbids, but they definitely are very silly looking characters. They're just like weird. They look like Meat Boy.
Boy.
Imagine if you were, it's like Borderlands / Mad Max cartoony characters, but they look like Meat Boy. Like a missing couple teeth here and there. And you're on the back of a train, and your right hand is your gun, shooting a pistol. Your left hand can pull up for a shield, and when you need to reload, you need to grab on the floor for a new clip. You put it in your gun. To the right, you can get health containers that are on the floor, and you only get a certain amount per run. And this one essentially is also a roguelike. So you're on the back of this train, firing at enemies, using your shield. Your shield slowly dies, so you can't use it too much. You actually have to move out of the way and dodge these bullets and hit the guys, and there will be waves and waves of them, and say wave clear. And the more scrap you get, you can get permanent unlocks that can follow you with each consecutive run. It's very fun, and I actually kind of hurt my shoulder.
Oh, God.
Playing it because I was ducking and diving and dodging and weaving and shielding and shooting, and you get also upgrades per between each round, so get 2 options. Which one would you like? This one will give you more health when you kill an enemy, but this one, if you shake your gun and then shoot it, you'll have electricity on it. You grab these different ones, and we'll get bonus to your shield, etc.
Alex, can I walk you through a scenario here? All right,
yes, hit me.
You've got your VR gear on. All right, you got a drink on the table. Located next to the drink is your PlayStation 5 controller. You're shaking your gun, you're waving it around, you do a shield smash, knock the can over, but you're so absorbed in the VR, you don't realize it.
It's actually...
Fast forward 3 hours.
You preset your...
I know, I'm just... trying to have some fun with it.
You preset your environment, Getty, and I've only hit my TV twice.
I needed that, because now I know how close you are to the TV.
I've kicked my coffee table 3 times, and I've accidentally stepped on Penny
the
once.
dog's a real hazard and all that.
The dog's a real hazard, because they definitely want to be involved and under your feet.
I think the human is the biggest hazard there.
Absolutely. But Gazzlers is very fun, and it's got a lot going for it. Especially just, they found a way to do the VR where it doesn't really where, you're not moving around too much. You're not walking. You're just in this space on the back of a train. Here's your reload. Here's your healing. Boom, boom, boom. I felt like the aiming could have been better. I feel like I was missing a lot of shots, or I could just suck and they want super pinpoint accuracy. I don't know. And in the last moments, I actually kind of threw this at Joel, and Joel got an opportunity to take it for a few runs. What did you think,
Is that
Joel?
true?
I think for the most part you got it right. The actual reticle shooting stuff. Some of the games I've played before almost have kind of a auto aim assist kind of thing where they edge you towards the right area that you can actually cause an impact on. But one thing this does really smart is the games that I've played so far have had sort of a motion problem. And by that I mean Mother Gunship Forge, for example, it is very similar to this, except it's in an actual forge. You're standing there, and the enemies are coming towards you. Now, this is fundamentally the same thing, but since you're on a cart, and they're making it look like there's motion, it made it a lot more dynamic environments and interesting to play with. So I think there's some good things in this, and I would be curious to see what else comes out of this, or when it comes out.
The movement on the train, it feels like you're being chased, so it actually adds a level of oh man, we gotta go, get us out of here, let's go faster, these guys are on our tail. And it's like a motorcycle guy, a cart guy, and all of a sudden a guy in a hot air balloon blasting you, and there's little explosive barrels everywhere, so you can shoot the barrels and kill 3 guys at once. It gets real chaotic. There'll be a time that I'm like, oh, I grab the reload, shove it in the gun. And I'm looking at my gun. I look up and it's just a bullet in my face. It's like, oh, I wasn't, or I'm trying to shoot and I'm aiming so hard at a guy that I don't see I don't pay attention to a bullet that's literally slowly moving in my face. It does a lot that feels smart and feels like a dynamic game to me. So that's where I really wanted to just shout out Gazzlers, because it's a neat one to look out for. It's not out yet, but it's coming out this year. It's coming out also PS5 VR. So it'll be a fun one that it'll be in the hands of people.
Super GG Radio, aiming so hard. So hard
in that game.
I'm hardly aiming. That's how hard I'm going into it. All right. Well, now that you've VR'd us to death,
yep,
I'm going to take us back to the past in the style of game that I had brought up a couple of weeks ago. Found this one, Captain Contraptions Chocolate Factory. And we were talking a little bit about building machines and using them to, complete some type of task. In Captain Contraptions Chocolate Factory, that's exactly what you're doing. You're dropping conveyor belts, you're dropping devices that shoot the items into the distance, all to achieve a goal. So tell me, guys, how excited were you to play Captain Contraptions Chocolate Factory?
I enjoyed it. This
Thank
brings me back to games like I don't know if you remember Tim, the Incredible Machine.
Yep.
And just the options you can do. I love that it scores you based off of coverage, which is completely out there, and it's just not something you can really control. You've got a budget you have to stay under, and you're getting to the goal every time.
Yeah, it opens you up pretty softly. It's just a couple of items that you can choose from. At the same time, it is that test it out, see what works kind of game. So you really have to manage your resources and figure out what is going to accomplish it the quickest and cheapest And I don't know, when you guys played, did it have the scores for everybody else? I think I played it too early. I didn't get to see anybody else's scores, but it has a scoreboard and it compares it supposedly to what your friends have done.
I think they've got placeholder names there.
Okay.
Unless Seth MacFarlane is actually playing this right now.
Maybe.
But
I looked as well, and I did not see any of you guys. So I kind of assumed that since this game is not live, that is probably not live yet.
Okay. What about the big boys? You're kind of quiet.
Oh, well, we talked the ears off of everybody in the first two. Wanted to make sure Alec got a chance. This is a fun game. It's a really fun game. I've actually played quite a few of these. I'm not very good at them, but this is one of the few ones where I felt good. You would get your machine. I mean, it started with almonds, right? And you had to move almonds, it would come out of a big vat. It would drop an almond, and you only got two pieces, which was a conveyor belt and then a catapult. And they each cost different things, so they got more expensive. You had to make sure to stay within your budget. I felt pretty good. I felt like I could move the conveyor. I could make different things. I was like conveyor belt, launcher, conveyor belt. Like I was messing around. I was like, okay, what if I just go straight into a catapult and then catch it on the conveyor belt as well? I definitely replayed a couple of levels, probably 3 or 4 times, just because I was having a good time. So that's a very good sign of any kind of these games where it's like, oh man, this is pretty good. And I never felt like I was too stupid for it, which is also very common in these games where there gets to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm real dumb. But I also stopped I want to say 7 or 8 levels deep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if I would have gone further, it would have just made me feel incredibly stupid.
At some point.
What I liked about this is even in the small swatch of levels, you could find ways to be really creative or make really dumb machines. So that you get to several ones where it'll have 2 or 3 vats spitting these things out. And one end goal might just be it on its own. The other one might want you to have it go through a furnace and get toasted or something like that.
Yep.
And then I think there's one where you need to cover them in chocolate, if I recall correctly. And so you end up creating these systems where you conveyor belt them down to the furnace and then have the catapult ready to sit there to then shoot it back to the other side. And also having to layer a different row needing to just go all the way to the end without them interfering. So it makes for some really fun, interesting contraptions to make, even though they only gave me 3 or 4 tools to where we got. So it feels like there's still a lot of open possibility.
I think it'll only get more complicated from there.
Opus Magnum. If you've ever played or heard of Opus Magnum,
Honkus Ponkus?
That's one of these, but it's very complex mechanical arms, and you're moving and combining elements. And the elements are orbs, and they come, ding, this one moves here, cross and mixes and moves somewhere else. That was 3 levels before I felt real dumb. So I'm happy that this one, the Captain Contraptions Chocolate Factory, gave me a little bit of reprieve before it made me just automatically just laughed in my face. And everyone said oh, good for you. You're cute.
I mean, some of those scores felt pretty good. I was like, oh, I think I did a pretty good job.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that they definitely gave me scores that I was like, oh, look at me. I got a little something here.
Got 107. Take that, Getty.
Yeah, which is not common, for me.
The scoring is a little awkward. Honestly, it seemed like, as you get further in, hopefully it lets you take some of the other devices back to the previous stages. It would be kind of fun to play with them and see what you're able to accomplish, or even to be able to purchase them at some juncture. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this, and I saw it and I was like, oh man, I was just talking about games like this a couple of weeks ago, so I had to bring it in and make everybody play it, subject you to it, as it were. Yeah, so I got an idea. Let's build a machine that takes us to the break. Or we could just, take a break. Hey News. Remember the Jumanji TV show?
No.
Oh, it was a thing. Should definitely check it out.
Like early 90s cartoons or
I know they made a sci-fi like pseudo sequel, like Zendara or something.
You're just coming up with names now.
I vaguely remember that.
Zathura.
Zuthora? Okay. You know, those Jumanji sequels, every time I see them, I'm like, man, why would you ever do that? And I've seen them both, and each time I watch them, I'm like, man, this
really
is actually
good.
pretty good. It's really good. There's no reason why they should exist.
Nope.
But
somebody was like, hey, let's make it. And you know what? Don't regret it. All right, but I guess
Nick Jonas,
we
man.
got news. News.
Shout out to Nick Jonas. Shout out to Nick Jonas.
Shout out to The Rock.
Nah, man, he's got some bad press going on right now.
Shout out to Jack Black. He's in those, yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty good, except for he was just on Good Morning America dressed as Bowser, and apparently they had to censor out his junk.
Why?
Because it was very prominent in the Bowser onesie.
Well,
apparently.
you know, not all of us can be, I don't know, Nick Jonas, I guess.
There you go. He's still
not all of us can be Chris Pratt.
He's diabetes positive.
Who's positive?
Nick Jonas. He's got diabetes.
Yeah, but he's got, never mind. He doesn't have the Jay Cutler one. He's got the regular one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. You know what?
Let's go.
Super GG Radio. We're your rumor mill. Speaking of rumors, here's a bunch of stuff that Alex just came up with this week. All right.
I came up with.
Well, you blatantly admit it never. Oh, we'll get to it later. All right, Battlefield 1943 and Bad Company 1 and 2 are going to be delisted on April 28th of this year. Of this year?
The reason why is most of those games are online. Originally, they had written the blog post to include Mirror's Edge, but have since walked that back as Mirror's Edge. The online components were not
necessary.
They were not necessary.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not necessary for the game.
They're just leaderboards, I think.
Yes, but it was funnier because they actually wrote a whole blog post about saying goodbye to Mirror's Edge, and then they're like, oh, wait, never mind.
Bye. Oh, no, wait. Guess we don't have to get rid of it. Okay. It's coming back. Yeah. All right. We got some Lord of the Rings news here. This is crazy. Let's start with this one. Lord of the Rings Gollum will release on May 25th. That's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One X, 360, 2.9er, and PC. No Switch, though.
Already requested codes for Joel.
Just him.
I don't want to review that one. Do you?
Maybe.
It looks like some of those PlayStation 3 third person action platformer with some stealth type stuff going on.
I'm going to need you to stream
Hence
it.
why I thought it would be funny to make you review it, Joel.
And then I'm going to need you to say Gollum, Gollum every 5 minutes.
That, and I also just want to make Joel kill something he loves.
What? That's not funny at all.
He wants the game to be bad, so I have to skewer it. That's what he's saying.
I don't want it to be
Alex,
bad. I don't want it to be bad.
Let's do something real quick. Name one bad Lord of the Rings game. All right.
I only know 3 of them, and one of them is Joel speaks highly of.
Which is?
The PS2 one.
Yes, the Two Towers and Return of the King are the
surprisingly good video game from movies.
Movie. Yeah.
And you know what else was? The Third Age.
How about Lord of the Rings Rise of War for the mobile phone?
Do we count mobile games? No.
You said game.
We don't count mobile games
game.
for
I got
anything.
the game here.
I mean,
I'll send you a link.
Shadow of Mordor's got to be on that list somewhere.
No, those games ruled.
He had to go to the internet. That's how you know it. All right. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings Rise of War. This game looks like crap. Move on.
Did he play it? No. But if he did, he'd be addicted to it. Also, some spoilers coming out. Lord of the Rings set is coming to Magic the Gathering. Yeah, Alex. Suck it.
How about the one printing of the One Ring?
I am so excited that they're serializing that card, so one person will have it. One. There's only one copy of it.
You're going to need to link this in chat or something. I need to see what this is.
I mean, I already sent you a picture of Tom Bombadil.
I understand that, but I assume there's a source for that.
Yeah, it's like the actual Magic the Gathering, like Wizards of the Coast website. I'll find it. Just remind me, otherwise I'm going to forget. There's a lot of news that we have to make it through.
Getty, Counter-Strike 2.
Counter-Strike 2. You suck it. Me suck it. You suck it. I am so excited for Counter-Strike 2, and it's coming as a free update for what? Right now it's CS:GO. So,
Did you see the trailer where everyone's talking the smoke tech?
there's a lot that they're doing. It's not only the smoke, but they're giving everything a makeover. And I heard the biggest news of it is that it's not going to be the tick system. So now everything will just happen as it's happening, and there's not like if you shoot right before somebody else, then your bullet connects first kind of BS that happens. It's a very technical explanation to it, but I guess the servers were set up that way. Go check it out.
Okay.
All right. What else we got? I'm sure I'm the only person
recommend people check
that's
out
excited about Counter-Strike.
I do recommend people check out the
No,
Counter-Strike.
you just threw a lot of jargon. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Nah, don't even bother. Super GG Radio. We're just making this up.
Again, just check out the trailer. It's really cool.
It's a trailer. All right. Atari announces intentions to acquire Night Dive Studios.
So Night Dive Studios is an independent developer that is responsible for System Shock series. They also had worked with Quake, Doom 64, Turok 2, among others here. So it's just an interesting acquisition for them to be doing, and I'm curious to see what that means for what Night Dive's working on.
Nice. Okay. Maybe you'll get a new Turok game. Who knows?
I wouldn't hate it.
I mean, love some dinosaurs.
Don't Turok your breath.
I feel like there's a severe lack of first-person shooters where you
that
can
include
kill
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No, isn't there that Ark game?
There's also that movie that just came out with Adrian Brody where he's just Turok.
What movie? Are you talking about the movie with Adam Driver?
Is that
And it's 65?
42069? Is that
Hey, family friendly, sir. Family
I mean, those are just numbers.
friendly.
Those are just numbers. What was the movie called?
I'm
Or
done.
the one that brought it up.
I'm straight up just done.
I'm saying, was that it? Were you confirming that was the name of the movie? Was 60 whatever?
Alex, I don't know because you named a completely different actor. That new movie with Adrian Brody.
Yeah, 65.
That guy's still
65.
alive? Do you mean Adam Driver?
65.
Yeah, that guy.
We're giving.
Adrian Brody's still alive. He was in that Predator movie that came out like 5 years
I
ago.
feel like
think it
we
was
just
longer
got
than
an
5
answer
years.
to a question that was never asked.
Yeah. Thank you.
Also, 65 is the movie that it might as well just be Turok.
Sonic Origins Plus is releasing in June with all 12 Game Gear games and playable Amy Rose.
For those of you who got Sonic Origins, this is an update. I'm not sure if it's free. Joel, do you know
Nothing's
if it's
free.
I refuse to believe it's free. They charged DLC for Mania. That was mostly just characters. So
Alec, did you just
Did
send that?
you play Origins?
I did not. No.
Right. I'm intrigued by Origins because like the big draw everyone talks about is the fact that it is like it's widescreen, so you see more of the level.
Yeah, that's the one unlearning part, but it never got to a price that was worth me dipping in at. Like, it at the end of the day, it's still Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, and they wanted like $40 for the package. That was a little too rich for me.
Agreed. But looking at this, it's like that's an interesting premise and an interesting amount of content.
Oh man. All right, so much content for days. Kind of like Lego 2K driving. Wait, Lego 2K Drive leaked by IGN. Man, those guys are up to no good.
I know. Lego 2K Drive looks to be almost like a Forza style driving game.
It's got to be
where it's like a full racing game.
Why can't it be Fives?
But I mean, maybe it could be Legos. It is, but it actually kind of looks like a kart racer. It looks like Mario Kart or Sonic Transformed, where you actually build up these different cars and then they can transform into boats and planes. So it actually kind of looks rad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
They accidentally leaked screenshots early and posted them before it was actually announced, which is the joke you were making at the beginning of the news segment where I posted a bunch of rumors and then they came true. Like they all got announced today. So there was a lot of announcements actively today.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, so this looks like a pretty good kart racer.
Should we all get it?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it.
Nah, I'm okay. Big news today. This is the biggest news imaginable. Sludge Life 2 coming out this year. Y'all remember Sludge Life? Alex made us play it.
Yep.
Sure did.
Sludge Life rules. We also got the same people doing the soundtrack. Dose One, I'm still trying to get an interview with. Hey, what's up, Dose One? Please answer my messages. And same art style, similar, open world with characters and NPCs that you're going to be taking photos of, solving problems, spray painting. Same wacky world. I am excited.
Sludge Life. Oh, something just got deleted. Didn't see it fast enough. Not for broadcast releases, they're live and spooky DLC. Ooh.
Not for broadcast. They're doing, those ghost adventure shows?
Yes.
Where they're sneaking in and finding a haunted house, like going into haunted houses and stuff. You will now be being the producer for one of those shows.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be very exciting. I beat that game recently. That game
So he says.
Goes places.
There's no way to verify it. Mr. Saito goes 1.0. We played that like a month ago.
And now it is officially out.
Nice.
I only know because it's on my wish list. And I got notified by Steam. They said, hey, you could play that game now. And I was like, I could play that game now.
They were like, hey, it's only $10. And you're like, hey, I have $10.
I have $10. It's like they knew I had $10. It's wild.
Just $10.
Last piece of news. New gamer social media outlet for gamers.
It's called Crit Rate.
Did you write that?
It is. What?
Did you write that?
What?
New gamer social media outlet for gamers.
I copied and pasted that from an article. So yes.
Hey guys, check out Crit Rate. It's a social media for gamers.
It makes me want to crit my pants.
Are we being paid anything for this?
No, we're not.
No. It's just a lot of people are talking about it in the zeitgeist. You will review games. They actually have a lot of these now. They're starting to build them up as like, you know what Letterbox is? Or Untapped. No. They are apps that you, like Untapped is for beer and Letterbox is for movies. You put in a movie that you've seen and you write your own like paragraph review. And from there, it becomes a social media where you share it with your friends. You have a friends list, etc. But at the same time, they will start like recommending you things to play or do based on how you've rated previous experiences.
Okay.
So Crit Rate, is trying to like make it so like, oh, here's your backlog, and we'll suggest games to you from your backlog that you should play next based on things that you've liked already from your previous reviews, etc., etc.
So they're doing what Steam already does?
Also, there's GG, which is another one.
That's us.
I've already talked to them about trying to do a partnership. It's a whole thing. We're working.
We're GG. We're Super GG. What's radio?
They're called GG Video Game Collection Tracker.
Yeah, the Super trumps it.
Yeah, I know. I've talked to them about it. They've retweeted me tweeting at them. We're going through a process.
Yeah,
here.
but they're just making fun of you, aren't they?
I think I was kind of making fun of them. So
well,
it's hard to tell via tweet.
Fantastic.
But crit rate is a thing, and that is what's got the zeitgeist a bubbling.
All right, now let's move over to my favorite part of the podcast: freebies. Freebies.
Brok, we need the sound here.
Freebies.
Freebies.
Drunken Fight Simulator over at Indie Gala.
This is a physics-based fighting game, third person, getting into drunken bar fights, or drunken fights just in general in back alleys, as this weird, like, nondescript, not even really detailed character just swinging at people in a weird, awkward physics-based game.
We have Controlcraft 3 over at Indie Gala.
Hey, did you like Captain Contraptions Chocolate Factory?
Yes.
You like to build, really elaborate machines?
Yes.
Let me tell you about Controlcraft 3.
Good. Tell me.
You will be making factories for armies. Getting your members and building out these armies to fight the aliens.
That's good, Alex. I'm just messing around. We got Hammer Kid.
I'm telling you.
Hammer Kid over on Steam.
Action platformer, character platformer. You are a Hammer Kid, and you are jumping and collecting fruit and gems and defeating little enemies. It's very cute, very pixel art, very fun.
Nice. We have Escape World Dilemma over on Steam.
Escape World Dilemma is a first-person puzzler a la The Witness or The Looker, where you are kidnapped, and when you awaken, you are on this really elaborate island, and you go from puzzle to puzzle, slowly escaping, a la like an escape room, but real life. Real life.
Am I chained to a radiator at any point?
I don't know. Maybe you have to saw off your foot by the end. I haven't gotten that. I've only seen it. I haven't installed it.
All right, sounds good.
But you may have to saw off your own foot, unconfirmed.
All right, I can definitely saw off my own foot. Next up, Chicken, early access on Steam.
CHKN. Chicken is a game where you will be given a what am I thinking of? You'll be getting a section of a map, and you are to build your own freakish creation. So you're given tools that fit into little block pieces, and you will end up having a 7-headed snake with an elephant body, or you can have a crab with 3 chicken heads. It's up to you. They will all make weird, freakish sounds, and then you will use them to survive a la Minecraft in this overworld, and can even go and fight them in an arena, having a dinosaur with laser eyes or an elephant with pig's feet that shoots freezing
Fantastic.
blasts.
I'm going to have nightmares for days.
Yep, early access.
Hey, man, you know that Sludge Life? It's
Sludge
free
Life.
on Steam, so go get it.
Limited time because of the announcement of Sludge Life 2. You can now get Sludge Life 1.
Sweet. Okay, there's Chess Ultra on the Epic Game Store.
You like chess? Yeah. Here's a lot of extra chess.
Oh, it's just chess?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's ultra chess ultra.
And then lastly, World of Warships is on the Epic Game Store. What is this, like free content? Because that game's always free.
Is it? It was announced as no, it's just the game again.
They're just trying to get people to play it again. Okay.
Yep, but it is announced as one of their freebies.
All right. Well, yep, I've played that before. It's a game. I can explain it. If you want to pick some warships and fight with your friends, yeah, you can do that. Choose between different ships and go on the high seas to combat against other live players. World of Warships on the Epic Game Store. Almost competent. Almost. Let's take a break and travel into a board game. Widdly, 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 widdly. And we're back. Back with the Backlog Blog, where we play games for posterity. That's right, Alex. Posterity. Not for the beat list. Not for whatever this whole thing is that we do week in, week out. Posterity.
I'm excited to play video games for fun.
No,
again.
you're not. That's not true. We don't know what fun is here. But you know what we do know?
I definitely picked this game. I picked the game that I played for fun.
All right. Well,
that was a choice. I'm looking at it right now.
Alex,
you know, look at
tell me about Golden Light.
Well, to say that this is a game, I recommend anyone look at the trailer for Golden Light, and in fact, I will rewatch this trailer because I also played this game. Golden Light is a first-person shooter where everything is made of meat.
Okay.
You have a lovely wife,
Meat wife,
and or a partner. I don't know if she's your wife, and all of a sudden she is dragged into hell.
Meat hell.
As it turns out, the land is made of meat. You are in what they call the gut.
Is this VR?
And no, it would. I wouldn't want to play this.
Didn't you play another game where the world was made of meat?
There's so many games I play that the world is made of meat. Joel. You got
odd premise for a game, but okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
So, the tricky part about this game is that it kind of plays like a roguelike where every level is procedurally generated, and your weapons are all like they're randomized. Everything is randomized. But the way it looks is that it looks like a PlayStation 1 graphical first-person shooter. But the way the gut plays, the gut is the environment, is it actually has like a personality. So you start the game and you're just in this weird set of hallways where the walls are either old apartments walls that are broken down and doors or meat flesh walls.
Flesh walls.
And
my favorite.
Flesh.
Throughout... Yeah. Again, check out that trailer. Sometimes it's eyeballs and other things. But what happens is that the game will tell you, hey, don't do this. And then you'll find a note that says, hey, don't believe it. That's all bullshit. Don't do that. That's a lie. That's a lie. Don't do that. And you read through the list and you get the other notes that say, hey, everything is random here. One time I picked up a fish head and I ate it and it poisoned me. But another time I picked up a fish head and it blew up like a grenade. So I don't know. The world's real weird. And, and that's what the game is that every item is completely randomized, including enemies. And that also includes the gut. The gut, so the game, the gut will say, don't steal my gold. And as you find gold pieces on the ground, if you pick them up, enemies will start spawning more and more as you progress. If you don't touch them, the game leaves you alone. And sometimes enemies will attack you and you don't have a choice, but other times the more you attack, the more they attack you. And that's what's kind of wild about the game is that the game reacts to you. At one point, you find a map, and I'm using the map to find all this way, and I found there was a wall of fire, and I could not progress through the wall of fire. So I said, well, I don't know what I can do. and I just took an axe and I just hit a wall, and I actually thought like maybe this is a Metroid thing, and I hit the wall 4 times and the wall broke down, and I'm like, oh, I'm not even on the map anymore, and I just started hacking through walls until I went around the fire, and then the game goes, oh, tricky boy. I was like, wait, what? Like the game knew that I had somehow just decided to Minecraft my way around and just start breaking down walls, and that's very funny. But the mechanics are just so weird. Where if each thing has durability, but again, you're going to go through weapons. You pick up a new one, throw away the old one. If you eat your axe or your scissors, you get health back. But if your thing is breaking and it has durability, you could hit yourself with it, and it will fix your weapon.
Hit yourself as in you lose health?
Yep.
That's weird.
And you can eat anything. At one point, I was running low on health, so I ate my map. and the game responds in kind by telling you, like, that was a choice you could do. And so the game is just constantly kind of messing with you, throwing enemies at you and traps at you, but also sometimes enemies just leave you alone, and so it's like, oh, don't assume, otherwise you're gonna make the world angry at you. There's a lot of weird contradictions, but essentially you're going through finding keys and opening doors, and while it plays like a roguelike, there's actually a very solid progression. There's no, like, if you die, you pick right up at the level you were at, so there's a definitive ending. It's not a long game. So it's more just that everything is random all the time. And so if you're like okay with everything being random all the time, including what weapons and items do, then the game is like a really interesting conceit. Picking up a fish head and throwing it and having it be a grenade, or picking up a fish head and for some reason the entire level is poisoned is a fun idea to me. So that's that. It's just weirdly off-putting how the game plays, just because everything's are walls of meat. At one point, I just saw what looked like a tumor on the wall, and I touched it, and then it said, pick a perk, this one or this one. And I picked like a level up perk, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then all of a sudden, that wall flooded with eyeballs and said, you shouldn't be here. I was like,
oh, you leveled up the wall.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it did, and that's the point. I don't know what's happening in this game, but it's really fun, and but also very terrifying, just because, again, giant tentacles will come out of the walls, or like, and that also includes items, like bookshelves will all of a sudden spew tentacles, or like a note. Like I'll pick up a note. I'm like, oh, this note will give me some information about the world. I pick up the note, and all of a sudden it turns into like a fish that'll attack me. Like, weird. Why is this fish attacking me?
Why are you obsessed with
everything? Fish? Because fish are kind of weird, man. Holding a fish is real weird. But anyway, I just think that this game is really unique in that you never know what's happening or why it's happening.
Sure sounds like it.
But yeah, I got some weapons. I got some guns. I had some laughs. I definitely died a few times because I definitely did not know why all of a sudden so many enemies were attacking me, but I also kept hacking them down with an axe and stealing all the gold. So I can imagine I did not do well in making the world happy with me.
Oh. Rarely is the world happy with you.
Yep. Kind of feels like this is like tax season the game. I don't know why I'm doing anything and everyone's mad.
Yeah.
But Golden Light, I think it's you can probably finish it in an hour if you're persistent. I did not, but I'm probably gonna play it a few more times and I think that it's a unique experience that I've never seen before.
All right. Fun. So from one light to another, I'm gonna talk about everybody's favorite game, Destiny 2. Lightfall.
Yeah.
So, sad news was it earlier this week? End of last week? Lance Reddick, the voice of Zavala in Destiny 2 and the original Destiny, passed away at the age of 60. But his legacy is going to live on through the character, at least in the regard that so many people were or had interactions with the character, and I'm sure that they're going to do something for him. He was a big fan of the game, in addition to being the voice of one of the fire team leaders. So sad news, but still, Lightfall came out last month and adds a...
Do you think they're going to replace his character?
I think that they probably could. They've got enough characters that they've been cycling in. After Cade 6 left, they did introduce another character to take his place, but I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do. The story of Destiny is kind of crazy and all over the place, but
Is Destiny the one with the moon wizards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
They replaced him too. They actually changed that voice actor very really. They did.
Peter Dinklage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He did not want to be in that game.
Can't imagine why. But Lightfall is the most recent expansion to Destiny 2. In this expansion, you are given another light ability. I think it actually is considered a darkness ability, so it's the second one of its type. And this time it's called the Strand. And your character sees these strands of green energy throughout the world that you're on. You go to... I'm not going to remember. I believe it's Venus. Maybe? I have to double check, but it is not just gifted to you like so many of the other abilities. You have to unlock it through the completion of the campaign. So,
oh wow!
As you move around and you experience the story, each time, this is the really fun part, you obtain it, but only for a portion of the stage. So you'll interact with this rift, you'll tear the rift open, and you'll have strand powers for a bit. And then your character will be completely depleted, and you're just vulnerable. And then through the course, you finally are able to manipulate it and take it on. Still play a warlock, so the moves that I got are much more interesting than a lot of the other ones that they've done in the past. The strand grenades that you throw create these like little bugs that'll go out and chase after the enemies and collide into them. Most of the time, you're not that lucky when it comes to the other warlock abilities. They have done a lot of changes since the original Destiny 2 came out, but this is a lot more fun. You have a feature that's like a grappling hook, so you can shoot it out and use it to grapple.
Finally.
Yeah. It's not the best. As you know, the jumping in Destiny's been kind of all over the place, but what makes it really cool is that if you're using the grapple, you can do like a power punch into your enemies, and it does the third person view, and you just watch yourself clobber them, which is really satisfying. And then the last ability, well, you still get, for my character, a rift, and it'll summon a couple more of the little strandlings, and they'll jump into an enemy. But the superpower, you shoot like 6 of these things out, and they'll target different enemies. So a lot more effective than a lot of the other warlock superpowers in managing mobs. Normally you have to wait for them all to be clumped up together, but they do add some more interesting stuff, like getting kills with the strand ability will create a ball, and you can grab the ball and throw it into a group of mobs and watch them die. But the story just keeps building on top of it. It picks up at the end of some of the last seasonal content as well as the last expansion. And there's this crazy being that is trying to steal the sun, not the sun, but the main source of power for the Guardians. So you got to deal with that.
The what's it called? The big giant orb, right?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
The Witness?
No, that's the bad guy.
The something?
Or maybe he's the Watcher.
I thought the Watcher was the orb. Maybe not.
No. Gosh.
They made such a big deal about it.
Yeah, I've been playing this game forever, and I can't. And they probably said it like a dozen times in the game, but yeah, this.
I actually watched a streamer play the raid, and you're in this like spaceship that the whatever shut down, and it's pretty wild. I definitely saw I got peeks into the mechanics of like those orbs or getting the strand and becoming vulnerable. I saw there was a dark one and a light one. There's a lot of stuff going on in this, and the raid looks really complicated. So
it seems like they do get more and more complicated. I haven't really played anything past the original one that came out, and there's that whole culture of people that are trying to do it first and do it fastest, and just for the bragging rights. That's never really appealed to me as much. But man, it is what it is. This isn't my favorite Destiny 2 expansion that's ever come out, but it's still a lot of fun. I think that if you are looking to play, you could do this one. I really recommend the last one that came out, where was it, the Witch Queen?
The Witch Queen?
That one was really good. Check it out if you want. They haven't added too many more game modes. Some of the stuff has changed around a lot since I'm sure you guys have played.
Yeah.
And they just keep throwing more and more of that out there. So check it out. Don't check it out. Whatever you want to do, I believe in you.
For what it's worth, it's called the Traveler.
Yes, the Traveler.
There it is. Traveler.
Yeah. But, yeah, do you. If it's not your jam, I mean, I'm not going to make you play it. If you want to play it.
Destiny is definitely a good, Diablo, one of those,
Yeah. And I'm there, so if you want to play some of any of that whole Destiny thing, I'll play a little bit, I guess.
You want me to try to get you in a raid?
Quit trying to get me to raid. I got so many other games that I got to play too. Destiny's man, I got half an hour to burn. I'll log on and run around the tower and not do anything for a while. But yeah, all right, guys. That'll take us over to our final segment of the night. One last thing. And this week's one last thing is brought to you by Wishing Rumors into Reality. I'm looking at you, Alex.
Hey, Joel.
You got some Silk Song that you want to drop on us?
What? No, hold on. There, Joel, there's rumors of
F-Zero remake.
No, it's not F-Zero. It's F-Zero something X.
GX, F-Zero GX, the one from the GameCube.
Yeah.
And then there's AX, which is the arcade one.
Yeah.
GX is remaster, rumored to be in development.
All right, Alex, I'm going to need you to...
Yeah.
From Next Level Games. Next Level Games did the Luigi's Mansion, those games.
Yeah, it made sense that it'd be sort of a satellite development shop that works with Nintendo.
Yeah, but it's weird is that those Next Level Games are really known for their gaming animation, so people are saying that seems weird.
Well,
we'll save that for another conversation, but I'm not sure I agree with that sentiment.
We just got to have Alex write down that it's going to come out and that it's happening, and then it'll come true. If I learned anything this week, that's how it works. All right, my one last thing. Guys, again, Soul Hackers 2. I made Alex watch a video clip from it. I'm pretty sure he was mad. That's how good this game is. It's not great, but it's real entertaining, in my opinion. It's nice, mindless, frustrating at times, but man, it is so campy. I have to love it. All right, Alex, hit me.
I have some time now to play some games that I want to play. The only problem is that I'm now swamped with way too many opportunities. Where I'm I don't know. I guess I'll play 30 minutes of Dead Space, and then maybe I'll swap over to like another hour of Hard Space Shipbreakers. But wait, I should also probably start recruiting more people to be my spies in Watch Dogs Legion. Oh wait, I should probably, as you do.
Sounds like you got some problems.
Crippled with choice.
That was a good problem to have, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you got, Joel?
So the Wii U and 3DS eShop are closing for good on Monday, and like any good sucker, I got some eShop credit and put it on my account. All to realize that, like, how often am I actually going to seek out these games that I'm going to buy on the Wii U before it closes?
Are you going to play them? Be honest.
I got them. I loaded up my 3DS with those games, but I only got them because I don't know if I was ever going to see them ported. Now, I will say that, Theater Rhythm, that's on me. I did not foresee that getting ported. I thought they were done with it. And now I kind of just want to play the new one, but I don't know.
I think the NES Remix games are both worth having if you want to get those. There's a unique puzzle game called Affordable Space Adventures that does some neat stuff with the dual screen controlling.
I did not get that. Maybe I'll go back.
And
quick, time's running out.
There are some unique things on the Virtual Console side too. So like if you want some of those retro games, they've got some unique ones.
The only game I wanted, I cannot get because I don't have a new 3DS.
Burn.
Yep, burn.
You need some aloe?
I was really frustrated with that one because I was like, well, 3DS is done. They're not going to make another one of these. I'll buy it, and then, and then they release the new 3DS, and I was like, crap.
Yep. Man, that's how it goes. All right, Alec, take us home.
I got to play a little Spider-Man this week, so I'm going to play some more this weekend and maybe fit some Metroid Prime in there too. Wrap that up.
Heck yeah.
Got to finish that Spider-Man so we can talk about it here.
Yes.
But also so you can be prepared for when new Spider-Man comes out this year.
Oh, yeah, so excited about that.
Spider-Man. Legally, I can't sing this song. All right. That'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on Twitter at Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where we stream video games and video game accessories. No? Okay. All right. Real streaming plans Thursdays. We got this beautiful podcast that we present you in a live format so that you can see all of my chest hair. If you can't, you're missing out. Video on demand, only for friends. This Saturday, I think Joel is back at it. I think it's finally happening, guys.
Joel, what's happening Saturday?
Escape Academy.
Escape Academy. He's making eye contact. You got the okay?
It's going to be okay.
All right.
The bigger challenge is my schedule. It's not her. So.
Okay. All right. You got to do what you got to do, man. Try and get that Escape Academy. Try and escape. Otherwise, we're flipping over to Mondays. Mondays, Alex is burning through the backlog. Does he still have Kakarot left? Who knows?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting through that Cell Saga, man. It was really a brisk pace of story, getting to Perfect Cell, and then, of course, he's like, oh, by the way, tournament, 10 days, time for filler. I was like, crap.
Oh, I love that. They throw the filler in there.
Oh, yeah, I already went on a picnic with Chi-Chi.
Hey, don't you knock picnics with Chi-Chi.
Pretty sure that's how Gohan came around.
Goten, you mean?
Goten.
And I kept saying that on stream. Mm-hmm. Like, so this is where Goten comes in.
Yep. But hey, man, sometimes you just need some family time to let Gohan know that he's a terrible son.
How dare you?
That's every time. Well, Goku's also a terrible father, so you know what? Whatever.
There we go.
Tuesdays, Alex is still doing his Skater XL and sick beats. You should check that out.
Heck yeah. This week we actually switched it up because I wanted to show Joel Hard Space Shipbreakers, so we did Hard Space Shipbreakers and chill. But I'll be going back to Skater XL and chill. And I think I successfully made Joel either be really interested in hard space shipbreakers or completely uninterested in it.
It's on my Xbox. Time is the factor right now.
Time is a factor.
Time is a construct.
And then Wednesdays, did you guys know that there's built-in audience participation for Vampire Survivors? If you didn't, check out Wednesday, where Joel is going to let you pick his weapons and maybe even his upgrades.
Say what?
I think it's just a yes/no thing. So it's really at the Twitch mercy. The funny thing about that setting is if nobody's actually voting, it'll just choose for you. It'll do it. So
will you let him die?
You don't have a choice.
I have no agency in the matter. There's also like hazards and stuff you can implement randomly throughout the level too. If you're
oh man, I want to do.
All right, now everybody on this stream will be watching that stream, and hopefully all of our fans at home check us out. Okay, nothing. All right,
yeah.
Fine. All right, I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's what I thought. Cram it. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com, and provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening, and hey Alex, did you know that Drink Poggers has a special promotion where if you enter Good Game at checkout, you can get 10% off your order?
I was not aware of that, Getty. Thank you for letting me know. I will order some.
Yeah, you should. Did you do it? Yeah, you didn't even look down. Don't lie to me. Good game, Alex.
GG, Getty.
Good game, Joel.
good game.
Good game, Alec.
GG.
Now go order some poggers.
Is a